Hello, welcome back to Learn Economy. In this video, we are going to look into certain questions which I could see as repeatedly coming in some of the examinations of UGC Net. So let's get started before going into the depth of all these concepts. So which of the following is equivalent to national income? This is first question. The options are GDP at market price, NTP at factor cost, NNP at market price, and NNP at factor cost. I hope all of you are very much clear with respect to all these concepts: GDP, NTP, NNP, depreciation, net domestic product, net factor income, subsidies, indirect taxes, etc. So, with that expectation, I would like to tell you that the right answer here is NNP at factor cost. So, this is the aggregate payments which is made to all the factors of production. This is total income earned by all the factors of production. We know that the four factors of production are land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. Land would be earning rent, labor would be earning wages, capital would be earning their interest, and entrepreneurship, for that they will be earning profits. So by comparing all these things, you will be getting the NNP at FC, which is the national income. Next question: which sector of the economy contributes largest to the GDP? Primary sector, tertiary sector, secondary sector, public sector. The right answer is option C, tertiary sector. This is a service sector which would be contributing the highest to the GDP, or the gross domestic product of the country. You could see that it is in the agriculture sector, or it is in the primary sector, that more than 60% of the population is engaged. But with respect to the contribution made to the GDP, it is the tertiary sector that dominates. Uh, so all the services like IT, telecommunication, healthcare, tourism, banking, transportation, all these things would be coming under what? Tertiary sector. Next question: the national income estimates in India are prepared by whom? Very important question. I could see that this question has been repeatedly asked in many years in UGC NET exam. So the options here are Planning Commission, Reserve Bank of India, Central Statistical Organization, and Indian Statistical Institute. The right answer here is option C, Central Statistical Organization. This is the one which prepares the estimates of national income in India. We could see that Planning Commission is actually an institution of government of India which formulates a 5-year plans. Right now we don't have a planning commission anymore, or we don't have any planning boards anymore. Uh, we have Niti Aayog instead of planning commission, or we could say that Niti Aayog has replaced planning commission. Uh, Earlier, when we had planning commission, it had its headquarters in New Delhi. Next, coming to Reserve Bank of India, actually this is a central bank of our country, which has got all the responsibility with the implementation of monetary policy, then printing of currency notes, etc. Next, Indian Statistical Institute is actually devoted to research, teaching, application of statistics, etc. With that, we move on to the next question. The main source of national income in India is service sector, agriculture, industry sector, trade sector. The right answer is service sector, which is also known as tertiary sector, as we have already discussed. The only difference is that instead of tertiary sector, they are given as service sector. You have to understand the different names of different sectors. Primary sector would be comprising of agriculture and its allied activities. Secondary sector actually covers manufacturing kind of things, or the industrial kind of things. And service sector, or the tertiary sector, looks into healthcare, hospitals, information technology, banking, communication, transportation, etc. Then we have a very direct question: who estimated national income in India first? Dadabhai Navroji, R.C. Dutt, V.K. R.V. Rao, D.R. Gargil. The right answer here is Dadabhai Navroji. He was the first person who has estimated the national income for India. What he has done is that he has estimated the national income by considering the value of agricultural production. Then he add some non-agricultural production as well, and from this very method itself we could understand that this method was not scientific. But still, when it is asked about the person who has calculated the national income of India for the first time, we have to tell that it is Dadabhai Navroji. Coming to V.K.R. Rao, this is the first person to adopt a scientific method or a scientific procedure with respect to calculation of national income. And R.C. Dutt is also a person who is related to the arena of economics. He was a civil servant, historian as well as writer of many epics. Then D.R. Gargil is a social scientist, and he is considered to be he is the first critic of Indian planning. Next question: the national income of a country is dash. The annual revenue of the government, the sum total of factor incomes, surplus of public sector undertakings, export minus import. As we all know, the national income is the sum total of factor income. So the right answer is option B. So you'll be adding wages, rent, interest as well as profit of a particular year to get your national income. So it is actually the aggregate value of goods and services rendered during a given period under consideration. Next question. The most appropriate measure of an economy is economic growth is its gross domestic product, net domestic product, net national product, per capita real income. So read the question very carefully. You might confuse the gross domestic product with the per capita income. The right answer here is option D, per capita real income. Just not the word real here. We know that per capita income is the total income of an economy divided by total population, which would be considered as an indicator of economic growth. But since we live in a scenario where we could see pricing increase in a sustained manner, or we could see that there is inflation everywhere, we have to adjust the per capita income for inflation. So per capita real income is something which is adjusted for inflation, or we could see that it is per capita income adjusted for inflation. Next, the existence of a parallel economy or black money makes economy more competitive, makes monetary policy less effective, ensure a better distribution of income and wealth. Ensure increase in productive investment. The right answer is option B, makes monetary policy less effective. Next, the philosophy of laissez-faire is associated with Kantian state, industrial state, social state, welfare state. The right answer is option B, industrial state. So this laissez-faire is the absence of any government uh, from interfering in the working of the free market. The market forces of demand and supply will take care of everything in the market. So there is no need for the government to interfere. Next, in free economy, inequalities in income is due to dash. Free competition, private property inheritance, differences in marginal productivity of labor, and private property only. Here, the right answer is option B, private property and inheritance. In a free economy, inequalities in income is actually due to these kinds of things. And economic inequality, as we all know, it is a difference found in various aspects of economic well-being. This could be among a group, among countries, etc. Next, personal disposable income means what? Personal income minus taxes, a personal income minus indirect taxes plus fees plus fine, personal income minus indirect tax plus fees plus fine plus social security contribution by employers, and none of these. Here the right answer is option A, personal income minus taxes. So, a personal disposable income is something which you are free to spend upon your likes. So, this is the total personal income minus total current taxes. Next, among Indian economists who had done pioneering work on national income, P.N. Thar, Professor Shenon, V.K.R.V. Rao, Jagadish Bhagwati. Right answer is option C, V.K.R.V. Rao. He actually went for the adoption of a scientific procedure in estimating national income in India in 1931. And in the case of Dar, he is actually an economist who headed Indira Gandhi's secretary. Then Jagadish Bhagwati is an Indian economist uh, who is working at the University of Columbia. Next question, one of the problems in calculating national income in India currently is underemployment, inflation, non-monetized consumption, low savings. This is a very direct question. The right answer is option C, non-monetized consumption. Next question, why is demographic dividend likely to be manifested in India in future? Options, populations in age group between 8 to 15 years is likely to increase, population of children below 7 years is likely to increase, population in the age group of 15 to 64 years is likely to increase, and population in the age group of 65 above is likely to increase. The right answer is option C. That means that population in the age group of 15 to 64 years is likely to increase. Next question. Which one of the following is not a feature of India's economic planning? Imperative planning, limited centralization, democratic socialism, and indicative planning. The right answer here is imperative planning. Here actually the public activities, all the economic activities leads to the public sector. Here decisions are taken through central planning authority rather than going for the market forces. It is a central planning authority which would be taking all the decisions. There is absence of institutions like private property, competition, profit, etc. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more videos. And be a part of my Telegram channel and Telegram group. I'll be providing the links of the same in the description box. Thank you.